Even when I used to work out all the time, when I used to work out, yeah, when I used to work out.
I remember protein powder? Yeah, I used to have it. When I used to work out, I used to take protein powders.
I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day. Wow. Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
How's Cat and Jasper? They're good. They're relaxing downstairs after dinner. After dinner, usually what we do is we run some chores, errands, finish up, clean up after dinner, and then we sit on the couch all together, and we kind of digest dinner. So I was actually checking on various different things, you know, proving comments on YouTube, and they both Cat and Jasper started napping. I was like, oh, that's cute. So they were napping. I said, well, I got to get going. I got to get my stream going. So, okay. Let's see here.
And this is how you know he and his family are super stressed, dude. After dinner, Cat falls asleep, and Phil checks to see if any pity bucks rolled in during their devour session.
Cyrax is saying he's going to become an Ultra member again on the React channel. If you want to become an Ultra member, you can do that right now. The Ultra membership will not change. So that's something you can do ahead of time if you were interested. He wants to help the community get stronger again. I appreciate that, Cyrax. Sarah says she cannot afford the more expensive membership. You cannot afford $5.99 versus $3.99. Well, if you really, really can't, I'm certainly not going to complain. I'm not so sure about that.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You have the audacity to question others' finances? You, who tell people they're brain-dead morons to quit fucked and that your finances are their problem, not yours. You have the fucking gall to question anyone's financial situation after declaring bankruptcy and after where we've seen your money goes in the bank leaks. There are no jokes in this bit. Fuck you, Phil. Fuck you and have the fucking life you deserve, you toxic man baby.
I don't know if I believe you that you're telling me that something you pay $3.99 for now that you can't pay $5.99 for to get the same thing plus added benefits because a troll is trying to ruin the channel. I have a hard time believing that.
Oh, so now you understand where we are coming from, that we have a hard time believing that you spend $5,000 a month on business expenses, that you can barely survive on the 100K plus a year that you make, or that you're barely making ends meet. You understand this now, yes? Of course you don't. Rules apply to thee, but not for me, because the guy is a walking contradiction. He will put himself on a pedestal and be a shining beacon of morality and ethics while being the antithesis to those traits, all the while having no self-awareness of how horrible he is. You know how actors who play the best villains do so to such a degree that people would openly cuss them out on the street, like the kid who played Joffrey? Same concept, except Phil isn't acting.
I'm sorry, I really do, but maybe you can't scrounge up the $2. That's okay then. Obviously, I can't force anyone to do anything.
But if he could, you better bet your ass that he would.
But I told you that's my concern. My concern is people don't like change. And it's been like this for a year, and it works, and people are used to it, and now I'm being forced into a change I don't want to do. I don't want to do that change, and I'm being forced, and that sucks.
You don't have to change anything. You could just take the memberships and shut up about it, likely taking away power from the trolls and eventually making your quote-unquote problem subside. You could cut back on your spending and survive this low tide of income. One way, you could stop spending money on sweaty man JPEGs. So you're choosing to do this member change. Additionally, you're not worried about people not joining. You're worried that people who join can't give full tiered gifted memberships, or that they'll see no value to giving those memberships because Argentinians are giving them at a fraction of the cost, and therefore your revenue will tank. Which, as a Chiefs fan, even at this point, I'm more excited for that than their next ball game.
So right there, there's an example. I almost feel like there's going to be people who are going to say, well, I just can't do it. It's like, well, can you really not do it? Or you just not want to do it, right?
What the fuck are you talking about, Phil? Do these people owe you something? This asshole sees his audience as indebted to him, and them not wanting to donate or sign up for whatever reason isn't valid to him. Let's say somebody actually said, hey, look, man, I get you're having a rough go, but I want to spend my money elsewhere. What would Phil say to that? I'm guessing he'd be enraged and tell that person to stop watching and quit fucked or some shit, because that's the kind of scum Phil is, but how did he let his mind get to this point? This is why bullying should absolutely be allowed in certain circumstances. Hell, it changed me for the better.
Because you're afraid, you don't like change. You don't want to have to pay more. I hear you. I don't want you to pay more. You know what I mean? It fucking sucks. It's these pieces of shit ruining everything that I have set up here. You know what I mean?
And to the Argentinian army, please, keep it up. Keep driving him insane. He absolutely deserves it.
Dan the Man, yes. What's going to happen is the memberships are going to go away. There's not going to be any memberships but Ultra. I need to delete the 2 lower levels, and I need to create 2 new levels. One's going to be very, very cheap, like $1 or $2, whatever the minimum is, and that's going to be called entry level, entry member, and then there's going to be submissions member, and that's the second tier. That's the one that's the equivalent of the standard tier. The difference is now not only do you get to submit clips every week, you also get to ask questions for Q&A every single week. So yes, I have to do that. There's nothing I can do because the gifted memberships are ruining the show. I have to make the change.
Say it again, Phil.
I have to make the change.
Say it again.
I have to make the change.
Say it one more time, you arrogant fuck.
I have to make the change.
Yes, Phil, you do. But not with memberships. With your entitled, victim complex having toxic and otherwise horrific personality and behavior. You have to wake up, realize you are a lolcow, and either lean into it or get a fucking job. But the biggest thing you need to change, you have to stop spending thousands of dollars on a fucking mobile game. I've gotten myself into financial hardship before. I've been young and dumb. I've made piss-poor spending decisions that took me years to correct, but I corrected the behavior, Phil. You're a fucking addict who thinks they can actually live life while using 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you can't. It is time to grow up, Phil.
So yes, if you're a standard member, it's gonna go away within a day, like probably tomorrow, either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to eliminate those membership tiers, create 2 new ones, submit them for approval. It usually takes like a couple days for YouTube to approve, and once they approve, then I will be posting up the threads for this week for people to submit their clips for the show on Sunday. So
that means this weekend's DSP React should be very interesting. Will he have 100 members? Will he have 5? Find out next time on Dragon Ball... Wait, wrong show. Anyway, I woke up this morning, saw this clip, and used the extra time that I had to pump out this video. Once again, thanks to SnortHogan for the clip. Holy shit, your audio is so much better than my captures. I really appreciate it. And thanks to anyone who watches, likes, comments, or otherwise engages with these videos. I'm seeing some expansion in my audience, and I 100% believe it's because you are all getting word of mouth out there, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Till next time, swole is the goal for a troll. Lift heavy, eat clean.